Greetings. Today, we will explain how to create skeletal meshes in Blender, how to export them to Unreal Engine, and apply them to skeleton and mesh. For this example, I will be using the ALS Community Edition Blueprint version, as well as several models downloaded from Sketchfab. However, everything that I will show below will work with absolutely any skeleton, including the standard Unreal Engine skeleton. Let's start. First, we need to select the mesh that we will fit our clothes to. Let's choose the standard ALS mesh in Imman. It is located along the following path: Content, Advanced Locomotion V4, Character Assets, Mannequin Skeleton, Meshes. Now you need to export the mesh along with the skeleton. This can be done by selecting the required mesh and on it with the right mouse button select Asset Actions, Export. After that, let's name our mesh. I'll use the default name and save it to a folder. As for the settings, you can leave them as they are. Click Export. Now let's go to Blender. Click File, Import, then select FBX, find our Imman and select it. Here it is, the mesh along with the skeleton. Let's now, in the same way, add those models that we will dress on our character. We do everything exactly the same. The models may be on a slightly different scale, but that's okay. We will fix this now. Use the scale you want to see on the character. Great, now let's repeat this with the remaining two models. Great, now on to the main part of the video. In order for our mesh to correctly inherit the bends of the body of the main mesh, we must make it a child element relative to the skeleton. To do this, select our new mesh, then use Shift to select the skeleton, press Ctrl P, and select with empty groups. As you can see, now they belong to our skeleton, which means they will move with it. But that's not all. In most cases, when the bones of our character will bend or unbend, our clothes will not react to this, and parts of the character model will be visible through it. To avoid this, we must correctly distribute the weight of the model. To do this, select our mannequin, use Shift to select our new mesh and switch to Weight Paint mode. Next, in the Weights tab, select Transfer Weights. At the bottom, in the drop-down menu, in the Vertex Mapping section, Nearest Face Interpolated should be selected, and, in the Source Layers Select tab, should be selected by name. We carry out the same operations for the remaining objects. Now, by going to the Object Data Properties menu, in the Vertex Groups section, we check where and how our model is in contact with the dummy. As you can see, starting with Spine 02, the vest mesh has partially changed its color. Red will always follow the skeleton. Blue will always stay in place. Anything in the range between red and blue will move according to the gradient. The closer the color is to red, the more it will follow the skeleton, and vice versa. To change the movement of the mesh more gently, use the blur brush wherever we can see our gradient. Now, we will go over all the bones that can affect the vest in one way or another. Now, I will ask for your attention. You should check all bones that you think may be in contact with the mesh. Now, I choose, it would seem, the bone that is responsible for the head, but the collar of the vest is still stained. If this does not fix, the following things may happen. Therefore, instead of the blur brush, select Draw and set the subtract mode. Set weight to 1. And paint over the color of the vest so that it becomes completely blue. Done. Now we proceed to the mask. Repeat all the same steps as with the vest. It wasn't difficult. Now the helmet. And immediately, choosing the main bone for the helmet head, we can see that some parts of the helmet are colored differently from the rest of it. We fix it. Only instead of subtract, we use add. And now, having selected the clavicle R and clavicle L bones, we see a situation similar to the collar of a vest. We fix it. Done. Now, we need to export our meshes along with the skeleton back to the Unreal Engine. To do this, go back to Object Mode, select our mesh and shift the skeleton, and export the model. File, Export, FBX. We name it as needed. The settings need to be done like mine. Select only selected objects. Armature and meshes. And, in the armature section, disable add leaf bones. Now, I will insert a screenshot so you can pause the video and set everything as it should. Click Export and repeat the same for the rest of the models. Okay, let's go back to Unreal Engine. I will create a separate folder for our models. We import our models, select them all. Select our skeleton. Al's mannequin skeleton. I won't be importing materials, however, if your model has them, then you should import the mesh along with the materials. Click Import All. We wait a couple of seconds, and you're done. Now, I will assign materials from the existing ones to the meshes to better display them. Now, go to the folder with our character blueprint and open it. We need construction script. Now, let's duplicate the body mesh and name them according to our imported meshes. Drag and drop our created components into the construction script and connect them to the Set Master Pose component function, as in the video. Super, and the final touch. We assign our imported meshes as the skeletal mesh of each new component. Done. Let's test it. As you can see, the meshes follow the character, bend and reshape with him. Even in the first-person view. Thus, you can create clothes for absolutely any mesh and skeleton. Well, that's all. Thank you for your attention. Success in your projects and good luck. Bye-bye.